have it, man. All right, everyone. Good evening. This is the public hearing and full board meeting for our Bronx Community Board 11. The date is December 18th, 2025, and the time that we are starting the public hearing is 7 o'clock. Is there anyone, we don't have anyone that signed up previously for the public hearing. Is there anyone in the audience here today that wants to speak during the public hearing? Okay, seeing no one, we're gonna close the public hearing and we're gonna move on to the full board meeting. So just so everyone is aware, at this time, we do not have a quorum, so we will not be able to do any, we do not have a quorum in person. So we will not be able to do any voting on anything, any motions, unfortunately. But since we do have people here present, we're gonna go on with the meeting. It's just not gonna be able to vote on anything. So let's start, please, with the Pledge of Allegiance. Will everyone please stand? Me. Right. To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, please remain standing. Moment of silence for our fallen first responders and medical and military service personnel and for those suffering throughout the world. Thank you. So at this time, our Sergeant at Arms, Harry, is going to read the conduct statement.
Good evening, everyone. Community Board 11 meetings must be held in a professional and hostile-free environment. The following rules of conduct are applicable to members of the public Community Board 11 and Community Board 11 staff. Any action or behavior that disrupts or interferes with the Community Board 11 business will not be tolerated during any Community Board 11 meeting and may result in the individual being asked to leave. If the action or behavior continues, this may be considered disturbing the peace, and appropriate authorities will be summoned. If the meeting is held remotely, the president may be muted or expelled for the remainder. Repeated violations by the same person or groups of people may result in further action by community board. All public speakers must address the full board or community with their concerns. Electioneering for position other than the officer of Community Board 11 is prohibited. Engaging in any acts of violence, including threats, are grounds for immediate suspension of the right to attend meetings pending review by the Ethics and Disciplinary Committee. Respect the equality, diversity, and privacy of all people by respecting and valuing differences of cultural opinion. Refrain from unpleasant or disparaging remarks and other actions. Abstain from all forms of harassment by activities discouraging it. Dismantling false information is prohibited.
Thank you. Jeremy, you want to do the attendance at this time?
So we'll go through attendance just so we have it on record. Should we not get a quorum, who's here, who's not. So Cynthia Rodriguez, currently excused. Richard Reynoso, currently excused. Veronica Castro, in person. Hazel Mira, absent. We also have to be aware that this is a different location. GPS takes you across the way versus here, which were the directions. We understand that that's a problem. So in the meantime, Harry Santel is in person. Ryan Barthel, absent. Tiffany Bonilla, absent. Patrizia Cambria, in person. Junior Campbell, I think he went away. Stacey Ann De Leon, remote. Alex Ellison, in person. Rabbi Fuchs, excused. Kenneth Gelnick, in person. G1 Jones, remote. Deborah Kowalik, in person. David Levitt, excused. Kadir Lowe, in person. Juan Luciano, absent, but he's supposed to join remotely. Jacqueline Lutnick, remote. Maj Nasser, absent until he joins remotely. Herbert Norat, absent. Myra Nunez, absent. Naomi Pemberton, absent. Shred Hannon Purdom, He should be on his way. Until then, absent. Juanita Randall, until she's in, absent. Joanne Rubino, excused. Earl Selfridge, absent. Deuce Shahid. You know, he might be excused. I know he's been away. Lisa Soto, absent. Christina Stevens in person. Dear Taylor, should be on his way. Until then, absent. Bill Thompson, absent. Sandra Unger in person. Lisa Balala, absent. Janice Walcott, absent. Wayne Williams, absent. Jeanette Wilson's online. So we have 9 people in person. Correct.
When do we want to do the presentation?
Gabriel.
Sure.
Well, so because we don't have a quorum, if any gallery session speaker wants to wait until, to see if we do have a quorum, it's up to you. This is being recorded. Even though we're having a problem with our live stream, we'll have to upload. So we'll call your name. If you want to wait, see if we have a quorum, that's up to you.
Does anybody, let me ask, does anybody here have a issue for waiting to do the gallery till we see if we get more people in for a quorum? Okay, if there's no issue, then I'm not going to read the names. We're just going to hold off and see, and then we'll return back to the gallery, okay?
But I will need each gallery session speaker to come up and grab the mic from me. What's that? Yeah, so just, I need you to come and grab
Okay.
the mic so you can talk.
So Gabriel, come up, please. Introduce yourself and you can start the presentation.
Hold on 1 second.
Grab up here. Because I can't share.
Bob, you ready? You ready?
Well, I mean, I need him to
Yeah,
let me
sure.
put the slides up.
Oh, a presentation.
I don't see.
Yeah.
Okay, I got
You in the
Yeah.
meeting. Oh. Oh. Okay, now I got you.
No, good. When you get a chance, Abdus and Dwayne are in. So we have 11.
Got it? How do you pronounce your last name?
Zainun?
Yeah, I got it.
Okay, join his panel.
And I see the other people. I'll make sure they're.
Okay.
Keep it level.
Yeah, all right, I'm gonna share.
I don't know right now. It's not promoting everybody. I'm trying to promote.
Okay, hold on.
I have to.
I'll remind him. He's just in the middle of doing something.
Okay.
Okay. Just let me know when the 2
2 minutes, right?
Yeah.
Let me know when the two, yeah.
Okay, go ahead, Gabriel.
I have way more than 2 minutes, but I'm gonna keep it really short.
2 minutes.
I'm gonna keep it really short. Yeah. Okay. Basically, I'm gonna keep this short. My name is Gabriel Zainun. I'm here to present about Morris Park Ave bike lane. Basically, I'm just gonna start with where my ending is. Right now, we have 2 unprotected bike lanes that are 5 feet in width, and I'd like to bring them together to one side to make one protected bike lane, which would require taking just a foot from somewhere else, and I'll explain the benefits through this. Basically, the current dangers are dooring, double parking, U-turning cars, having to bike next to buses and cars, and then people going onto the sidewalks to seek refuge, and many other things. First is dooring danger. There's been 6 people alone killed this year in NYC by getting doored, which is when the car door opens that are parked into the bike lane. And this forces people to go further out. There's always double parked cars, which forces people to go in from the bike lane into the car lane, which basically means that the only people that in the community that can actually bike are people who are willing to risk their life and limb going into the car lane. I have a couple more pictures. I have a quick video, but I don't know if we really have time. It's just a video of like getting past here or whatever, just passing a truck. It's just really dangerous. Kids are going around these scooters, tripling up, doubling up. I just had a couple I passed by on the way here. They go on the sidewalks to seek refuge, then like puts pedestrians in danger. All right, there's a lot of benefits. Businesses won't be affected. Increased capacity. All right. Safer for families, but yeah,
Gabriel,
I'll just skip.
how
to the
long
very-
is your presentation?
I'm just gonna skip through to the end.
Well, I'm just
I'll just
asking,
put a summary at the end.
because does anyone on the board have an issue with him going past the 2 minutes?
So we have,
Can you do
No.
5 minutes? Can you do 5 minutes?
Yeah,
Okay,
I really would just wanted to. Sure, whatever.
it's a presentation. And we are allowed to, the chair, which I'm at the moment, the chair is allowed to give them extra time if needed. And I'm asking the board if anybody on the board has an issue with that.
so we have,
We'll fix that when we cross that bridge.
until we get a quorum.
Yeah, all right, go ahead. You could.
Okay, basically, there's just, all right. There's all these dangers, basically, terrified for our lives. Double parking cars, the biggest problem is that, like, you might think that, okay, I'm just leaving my car here for a second, but it forces people to go out. People come in front of you and just stop the car right when you're in the bike lane, which makes you have a tough decision between either stopping and then waiting to merge with traffic that's going much faster than you, or merging into traffic and risking your life getting hit by a truck, bus, whatever car may be there. Cybertruck. The other problem is a lot of cars are U-turning. I've almost gotten hit many times through cars U-turning, and people aren't looking. They're on their phones, texting. A lot of people don't signal. There's just many problems that would be alleviated by having a protected bike lane. And so a lot of the problems that I've heard about, okay, there's many trips within Morris Park. Like, for example, if I need to go get a bag of chickpeas, a little bit of chicken, right? This doesn't require you to take a 5,000-pound vehicle, go over there and double park and take up all that space. It's a waste of money, gas, space for the community, right? I can just hop on my bike, get over there, electric scooter, electric bike, Lime scooters are accessible, right? And maybe not everybody's doing it, but by making it safe for a larger percentage of people, right, through having this protected bike space over here, we're going to be capturing a lot more people in this design. There's just many more people that can go into it. There's families that can go into it. If you have issues with mobility and you want to take a car still, that's totally fine. I just think we would capture and be a lot more inclusive to people doing this. Also, there's a financial barrier. In order to use, cars obviously requires, on average about $1,000 a month. I won't go to the details, but between car note, insurance, ticket, tolls, gas, everything, it's a financial burden, so it's not really accessible financially to the whole community. So having this on the side would be a lot better. How do we get from 61 to 60 feet? Because like I was saying, it would take another foot. If you look at Dykeman Ave, they made a 9-foot parking, 8-foot parking. So you could do that, have a 3-foot buffer, and then 4 and 4 in each direction, having a two-way, because it's more efficient to have it on one side. We're already fighting for space for cars. I get it. Cars are dominant here, but I would still like a little space on the side. This way, you don't need 2 spaces of dooring buffer. By having on one side, you only need to buffer from 1 dooring space. It's more efficient to have it on one side. And yeah, there's some issues with bus stops I've heard about. This is an example in Rotterdam, or sorry, a city in Netherlands where they rearrange the bike lane and the bus, so you can do that sort of combination. And then here's just a summary at the end. Basically, by improving bike safety, more of the community can bike, will reduce demand for cars, and there'll be less double parking, less fighting for parking. More people will be able to go to our businesses. Most businesses don't even require you to carry hundreds of pounds of goods. A lot of them are services, nail tech, barbershop, insurance agencies. And even if you need to go to the store, you can use a car in some cases, but you can.
Does anyone have any questions for him?
I know that was a lot.
Presentation, like something in paper, this slideshow?
I have, I mean, I could put this in a paper or something, but
Send it to Jeremy.
okay. I also have a bunch of notes, but these are just like,
You could send just the PowerPoint slide to Jeremy and he
Yeah.
could disseminate it. But
Yeah.
I do have a question. By reducing, I'm a car driver.
Yeah.
For years. By reducing that space from 9 feet to 8 feet,
yes.
that's dangerous for the people getting in and out of their cars because
What?
I have done that on Bronxdale.
Okay.
And there are many times where I try and get out of my car and I have to wait for several minutes to get out because there's not enough space for me to open the door and not get hit by an oncoming car.
Exactly. And so how do you think it feels to ride a bike next to those cars going?
No, I understand that, but this part of this I don't agree with, but I wanted you to be able to
Yeah.
have your say. So
Yeah.
I appreciate that. And
Yeah,
thank
yeah.
you for coming. So no one else has any? Okay. We're gonna go Patrice, Alex, and then Debbie. Number 6.
Lights on.
There
The
you go.
green light was on.
How it is. You said that you would want the bike lanes to be on one side of the street, right?
Yeah.
So you would expand and you would take 1 foot from where?
It could be from anywhere. I thought the simplest thing would be from parking because when people are driving, I think that people would like more space, you know. Again, there's just different combinations. I'm just throwing this out there.
I
The
know.
general idea is just, you know, it could be from a travel lane. It could be not. There'll be issues though with DOT and buses. I was looking at like bus guidelines, and so it's better to leave routes where the buses go through as wide as possible. So I understand that, but
Because
again,
Morris Park is 2 lanes.
yes.
You know, like I know I could see in the city because there's multiple lanes, but I don't know if that's going to work out with just the 2 lanes because of what you are saying, the space about getting out. I-
Then okay, then it could be reduced from it could be from a travel lane. It could be from the middle buffer turn lane. It could be from any of them. It could be a combination of like half a foot from here, half a foot from there. It's more about food for thought of like it's just a foot over the course of a 60-foot road, right? Right now, 10 feet is dedicated to bikes, quote unquote, and then 50 for cars. But in reality, it's 100% for cars, right? Because it's not a bike lane, it's a double parking lane, right? Effectively, right now, that's what it is. And so it makes it inaccessible to like 99% of people. Most people are not going to go out and risk life and limb to bike.
I know, but part of the problem too is it's not being enforced. So that's the,
Enforcement aside, there's dooring, there's other issues. Like people are going to drive like they're going to drive. We shouldn't be mixing, you know, a 100-pound human and a 40-pound bike, even a 100-pound bike, right? With a 5,000-pound car, you know, a 20,000-pound bus, truck, all these things, especially like there's a lot of large cars going. Specifically, there's a Cadillac Escalade. I don't know who it is going like 50 miles an hour down Morris Park Ave. I've seen it frequently. It's at night. It's at like odd times, but it's extremely unsafe and just things like that. I don't want to be exposed at all. And if you're a parent and you're gonna go with a child, and there's even a slight chance
True.
of that happening, you're not gonna want to go with your kids on the road, or many other people are not going to want to go on the road and risk life and limb. It's just not worth it. But when you go into a protected path that's separate from pedestrians, separate from giant cars and trucks and all that, it makes it a lot safer. And so a lot more percent of the community will be comfortable saying, hey, you know what? I would do it. Because even my own mom doesn't want me doing this, right? Having a battle at home right now, like she wants me to buy a car. But then if I do that, it's a huge drag on me. I can't save up as much. I'm young. And then also, right, then I'm adding to the problem of double parking. Sorry. I know it's a long. Yeah.
No. Alex.
Sure.
I'm sorry if this was said earlier and I just missed it, but are you representing an organization, and is this a proposal that the city is considering, or is this something you want the community board to push for?
This is just me as a resident. Like I just use this to, you know, get to like, you know, go shopping, explore, you know, go in within the community, do errands. Also, it's a crucial connection to the rest of the bike network. I couldn't really get into it, but it connects to all the other boroughs, right on Tremont Street through the Bronx River Greenway. And that would connect basically almost to there.
Well, thank you very much for coming and
Just
speaking with
me
us.
being terrified of like going out and like just doing basic errands because I'm on a bike.
Could you, if people wanted your contact info,
Yes.
how would they get that?
I can leave my email, and also I have an e-bike that I use to carry my girlfriend. I carry groceries, and I'm gonna leave my email. If anyone wants to contact me, feel free. I will also let you, I was thinking about this, I would also let you try my bike, go around the community, try for yourself, because you really can't see the danger and also the benefits of using a bike over, you know, other modes like car within the community. So I'm gonna leave my email. It's my first and last name at gmail.com, but I will leave that. People can contact me if they want to, like I said, ride the bike, whatever,
Thank you.
discuss further.
Hi, everyone. Can you hear me? Yes? I'm sorry, I just turned on my camera. I'm paying attention now.
Okay, hold on one second, Cynthia.
Yep.
Debbie's speaking first and then we'll get on
Thank
to
you. I apologize.
Thank you.
I take it we're having audio issues?
Hello?
Can they hear? Can they hear?
Yes,
Can online
Yes.
hear?
yes.
Okay. So being that they didn't hear the first question part, I want to know like where you get the data from, because you're saying it's $1,000 a month with a car and it does not cost me that much for my car. That's number one. Number two, I drive a school bus and going through Bronxdale takes an obscene amount of time because the way you cannot pass anything over there because of the way the roads are constructed there because of the protected bike lanes. There's no passing or anything. So if you're trying to do this with Morris Park, Morris Park is a MTA bus route, which would make an even more problem. And so I really don't see how that would even be feasible on the bus route.
Oh, can you hear me? I'm gonna respond to each one of them individually. First one, the $1,000 a month anecdotal, just going around, I like to talk to people, just I ask them about what's their, car payment, insurance and all that. And that's I've heard more, like I've heard more that I heard people who pay 1,000 just for the car. I've heard less. I'm just, it's a reasonable amount. I'm just going based on like, I've heard like 550 car note is like, it's not that crazy. And then for a newerish car, and then like, about 350, 300 a month. And then like gas is about 100, 200 with tolls. Again, I've heard higher, I've heard lower. I'm just going based on that. And then in terms of the Bronxdale one, two things. One, it's already a one-lane road each way, Morris Park Ave. So in terms of passing, it's not a two-lane road.
You can pass on the zebra stripes. You can go around
Okay,
somebody. And yes, I agree.
but they would still be there in the
Right.
bike lane.
Hi, guys, do you think we can send this to committee? I think this would be a good presentation and discussion to have in committee rather than have a
Yeah.
back and forth during the full board meeting.
I don't get
I'd like to answer the question. Yeah.
Sure. Sorry.
All right, so we still don't have a quorum. Debbie, one more minute, okay? And then we'll have Gabriel
Yeah, I want to hear. I want to hear.
speak.
Yeah, I understand your issue of people double parking
Yeah.
in the bike lane,
Yeah.
which is wrong. I agree with that. But on Morris Park, you could go around a double parked in the zebra stripes.
What's
So the purpose of this is to reduce demand, because double parking is not a problem. I'm not here to say if you double park, you're a bad person. It's a symptom of the larger issue is that there's no safe alternative, right? You either have to wait 20 minutes. The bus takes way too long to get around certain routes, right? Walking takes way too long. So the most convenient thing is driving. And I totally understand that, because you're like, okay, well, I can't really bike. It's too dangerous. So the whole point is like a lot of those people making those trips, right? Maybe they can take a scooter, e-bike, bike, right? Not everybody, right? But a large enough amount of people that it reduces demand. Because right now we have way too high of a demand for people to use cars for just even short trips, right? To pick up pizza, to pick up this or that. So I'm not saying everybody needs to.
Like I said, it's an
But-
MTA bus route.
All right, hold on. Ryan, Cynthia, did you have something you wanted to say, or ask Gabriel? If not, we're gonna let Ryan have the last say and then we're gonna move on.
I don't have a question. I just want to appreciate Gabriel for coming in and, you know, standing in the line of fire, so to speak, to present on this.
Go ahead, Ryan.
Thank you.
One mic.
Five.
Good? Not yet? Okay, I just wanted to say thank you. I appreciate it. I came here on a bike. Even the greenway over there is very difficult. A couple of important things to note about that. In winter, it's particularly bad. If anyone is parked in a bike lane you can't get back into a bike lane because you can't cross over this snow. As far as dealing with the passing like on Bronxdale, I don't think that we should be advocating that we design our roads around people who are doing things that are already against the law. I agree with Gabriel. I'm not saying that there is a good alternative. Last month I had my comment on the BX21. You can't, it's too unreliable. You can't do it. You need other ways to get from one place to another. And yeah, the biggest thing is every person on a bike or an e-bike is a person that's not a car. We're not creating traffic on Pelham Parkway. We're not creating traffic on Morris Park Ave, Bronxdale, doesn't matter where it is. We're not in the way. We're not taking up that whole car's worth of space. So, and $1,000 a month, that's a AAA number. You can look it up, AAA, average cost of new car ownership in the United States. That's an official number. I think it's 1,100, but.
Does that include insurance or no?
Insurance.
Yeah.
All right, guys. All right, no more back and forth. All right, thank you, Gabriel. I will invite you to go visit the Transportation Committee if you want to be able to put your full thing out there. But I would suggest that if it's a very long presentation, to shorten it down to about how long, Debbie? How long are the presentations usually in transportation? Average.
Can you speak in the mic?
All right, if you could shorten it down to about 10 minutes, you can go. Just reach out to the staff and they'll set it up for you. Okay.
Well,
And
what was the
sorry,
thing
can
that
I
you
just
said
say
earlier
something?
about sending it to council or something?
So Transportation Committee,
Okay.
so you could reach out to the board. They just said that the office, and they said January is pretty much booked, so you may have to wait till February.
The long
But
game.
that gives you some time to edit your presentation, and that's a better forum to be able to do it. And they could put you on the agenda so more people be able to come and sit down and see a full version of your presentation. Yes.
And can I say something? Or
If it's on this subject, the subject is closed. We're moving on.
I didn't get to speak. I just wanted
Well,
to,
we only get 4 people and 4 people have spoken. So go ahead, Gabriel. Thank you.
this is,
We can't make a motion. So just so everybody realizes, we had people coming in, but we still do not have a quorum. So we can't make any motions or anything like that. Huh? No, it's
I
done.
think it's
So,
wrong that you
um,
can't speak if you have just
you-
something to say. That-
Point of order. I mean, I know, like, look, we're not in an official meeting, but if we have something like this and someone wants to extend the discussion, right? Bylaws and ethics, I'm reading Robert's rules. You can make a motion that we want to extend the discussion, and then that, I understand we can't make motions, but we have to have some mechanism. We're holding this meeting to some degree anyway. We have to have a way to deal with that as well. I don't know that that motion is the correct language, but I think that Naomi can ask the board if we can extend the discussion.
The only thing I can do, because we don't have we can't make a motion, is to ask the board if anyone has an issue with Naomi.
No, it's
Speaking
okay.
on
Don't
this-
worry about it. It's okay. Let's let it go. Let's move on. I'm okay. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Whatever. Okay, so what are we doing next? Well, are we gonna start the gallery session now?
Well, yeah.
Okay. So next up on the gallery session is Manuel Martinez. You want to come up, Manny? Again, please come get the microphone from Jeremy to speak, and you have 2 minutes, and the Sergeant at Arms will give you a 30-second warning.
All right, first, of course. All right, so,
Just stand up, because they'll-
yeah, feedback. Yeah, there you go.
Stand over there.
There you go.
Stand in the middle.
Wherever you want me to. I don't want to give nobody my back. That's why. All right, let's see. And I got to be in the camera, right? All right. Sorry. All right. No, I'll make it quick. So one NYPL after school program wrapped up today in all the branches. It'll be resuming on the 5th. So school will be out. There is no after school program. So that wrapped up today. On the 30th, which is Tuesday at 2 p.m., we're going to be doing a Dungeon Dragons program for the teens. This seems somewhat came out from the teams that visit our location, so they wanted this, and we are going to offer it to them. In addition to that, in collaboration with the Mayor's Office of Immigrant Affairs, we are going to be hosting English classes again, and this is more of a formalized class. The registration will be Thursday, January 29th from 12:30 to 2:30 p.m. It is an 8-week session, and this is more for advanced, more intermediate. This is practicing like workplace English to get around, legal advice, that type of English. It's for 8 weeks, and it'll be starting that following Thursday, the 5th, February 5th. In addition to that, again, for teens, I kind of try to split it up between all the programs that we're having. For teens, we are offering college and career pathway programs. On Wednesday, January 7th, we're going to be teaching public speaking. And then on January 28th, we're going to be doing Adulting 101 for teens. Both of these are at 4 o'clock. And that's about it. Happy holidays to you all, and thank you for the continued support. Happy holidays. Stay safe. Yes.
Up next, Jean DeFrancis from the Allerton International Merchants Association regarding the White Plains Road bike lanes.
Thank you, Jeremy. Thank you, Board. Regarding the bike lanes, we've spoken with the White Plains Road Business Association, the residents in the areas and the merchants. We are filing a lawsuit against the city, similar to the one in Astoria, where we will have these bike lanes removed. If the bicyclists were so scared about operating in a commercial corridor, maybe they shouldn't run red lights. If they were so scared about the sidewalks, and how heavy the traffic is, maybe Mila Rojas would not have fractured her skull last year on Holland Avenue, where there is no car traffic and the streets are practically empty. As far as the bicyclists have a designated bike lane, it's called the side streets. Regarding Morris Park, you can travel on Van Nest, you can travel on Rhinelander. They're not as heavily trafficked. We need our delivery trucks to make deliveries. Key Food is losing an exorbitant amount of money. Our bakery is losing an exorbitant amount of money. These are mom and pop shops. Despite Key Food being a chain, these are run by homeowners in our community that live in this community, and they're a family that rely on this. So they bought into a chain program, and they rely on us supporting them. And when we cut off their lifeline, which is their delivery, and the delivery drivers are now getting ticketed, and their merchants, the neighbors are getting fines and fees, and their customers are getting ticketed because we're removing parking, it becomes a problem. We start destroying the integral structure of our community. The skeleton of a community is its small businesses, is in the area. The bicyclists, we want them. We want the parking structures where we put the e-bikes and you have that little designated spot. We want them there. But as far as a designated route, it's dangerous to our pedestrians. We have seniors that are scared to walk up and down Allerton Avenue because they're hesitant of the e-bikes.
Thank you, Jean. Does anybody have any questions? Hold on a second. Ryan first, and
Hey, Gene. Am I on? Yeah. Thanks. We've talked about this before, so I just want to kind of bring this up in the full board. I travel up that road, that bike lane every single day, 4 times a day to drop my daughter off at daycare, my 2-year-old. So when I go home sometimes, because I've had several people get aggressive with me if I ask them why they're in the bike lane, I'll take the side streets. So I come down Barker Avenue, that's where I live. And not every day, a couple times a month, someone gets right up behind me. And remember, I've got a 2-year-old on here. Sometimes I'm riding around with my 7-year-old who will be on a bike by himself. And you can tell how close someone's getting to you. They'll honk, they'll be right up next to you. Side street, I'd like to know how that works. I got a couple other things that I want to point out as well. Generally, the speed limit's 25. I can do about 15 most of the time, but people don't like when I go 15. I've had many encounters throughout the city, including in our neighborhood, where we'll have people who are crossing a double yellow, speeding up to get in front of me and nearly causing an accident. So they're either going to cut right in front of me or they're going to be going aggressively fast at someone coming the other direction. And then running reds, yeah, that's a problem. Bicyclists, just like everybody else, need to follow the rules. I think that there is a distinction to be made about the amount of harm that a bicyclist can do running a red versus a car running a red, and I see more of that than I'd like to talk about. And finally, you mentioned Key Food and the bakery, and those are two of the worst offenders for having their vendors or themselves park actually in the bike lane. And like I'm saying, now it's winter. When the bakery or when anyone's parked in the bike lane, since I'm riding around with a 2-year-old and there's traffic by doing that I wouldn't be creating if I were in the actual bike lane. But I can't be in the bike lane because there's someone there and then there's a big pile of snow in between. So I think that there's a middle ground, but just getting rid of it, just going to a side street, I try that. It doesn't work.
I appreciate our conversations regarding the bike. So we have advocated for the bike racks. We want bicyclists. We don't want to deter them, but White Plains Road is dangerous. It has stanchions. It has a lot of blind spots. And what has changed since our last conversation was, as I was standing surveying the four corners there was a little boy, probably about 5 years old, with his father, waiting for the bus because it is a bump out for those that are not familiar. And the city put the bike lane right on the sidewalk next to the entrance to the number 2 train. If the vendors weren't there, if the African vendor selling the yams and the fruit vendor were not there, these bicyclists, we know for a fact, would go 15, maybe even 20 miles an hour, some of them, because they're doing deliveries and they're trying to get to the delivery as fast as possible. This little boy was just spinning around, enjoying the winter fresh air, and almost got knocked over and his head cracked open, just like Miller did last year. And that was what I witnessed, not just what I've heard. And Miller, all she did was just run out her front door on Holland Avenue and get run over by an e-bike. So we can't pretend that the e-bikes aren't a danger. We can go door to door to talk to all the seniors that are scared of, because it is a real danger. Even whether they get hit by a car, they get hit by a bicycle, both of them could do serious, life-changing, critical damage. And they're scared about the bicycles coming onto the sidewalks. I'm not going to ask you to walk your bike onto the sidewalk. Just be more careful. For us, use Arnau Avenue, use Mace Avenue, use even Bronx, whatever. And we spoke about that before, because I don't even think, and Debbie, correct me if I'm wrong, Community Board didn't approve this bike lane on White Plains Road. So how it got passed in the first place is unethical, because the board didn't approve it. There were no petitions. And if you asked us in the community, we said, this is a bad idea. Put it on Bronx Park East. We don't want to feel like we're always fighting against the bicyclist, because I ride a bike and I love riding my bicycle. I take Mace, because you're right. The commercial corridor is dangerous. It has the delivery trucks. It has the bicyclists not following the rules themselves.
Okay. Debbie, you had a question?
Yeah, it's first just pointing out when you were saying about the when it came to the board. See, the district manager of CB12 actually came to CB11's meeting because it's a fiasco in CB12.
And we've been in talk with them.
So that's leading into one of my questions is, have you reached out to any of the stores or anybody within CB12? Because I was recently at a meeting in the confines of CB12, and I thought I was going to be one of those rare few that were not in favor of the bike lane on White Plains Road. I could not believe the amount of people from teenagers to store owners to people that live in the area of CB12 that were totally against the bike lane on White Plains Road. Because like you said, the stanchions, the commercial corridor, it just doesn't. And yes, I'm sorry that the truck delivering the key food would have to be in the bike lane, but when he's not in the bike lane, he's in the lane that I gotta take. I'm driving children. How am I getting around him? How am I? How?
Have designated parking.
You know, when stores got to get their deliveries, there's no real place for these places to get their deliveries, and to have other vehicles go onto oncoming traffic, it's just.
Sorry, go ahead.
Juan, you have your hand up. You have a question for Jean?
Yes, so are you making a distinction between the regular bikes, pedal bikes, like Ryan's bike, versus the electric bikes that go really fast, or are you saying no bikes of any type?
I would start with these two statements when coming into Community Board 11. How many bicycle accidents have we had? And we've had them. How many have been life-threatening? How many have been against the pedestrian? Bicycle or an e-bike. And e-bikes are battery operated. They're more dangerous than a bicycle because they're more powerful. Both of them are allowed to operate on these bike lanes. But even a bicycle going 10, 15 miles an hour, even the cars nowadays can't go more than 25 miles an hour per law in our street. So they can do almost as much damage, especially to our ADA and to our older residents. So yes, they can do as much damage, maybe not life-threatening, but they can definitely do damage. And we can have the conversation about most of our accidents, and I'll have to check, have been emergency vehicles.
Does anybody else, we have one more question available. Does anyone else have anything to ask Jean? Anyone online? No, unfortunately, only from the board. Go ahead. Give her the microphone.
What mic you got? 111 or 1? Okay.
Can you hear me? Is there a proposal here?
No, there's a lawsuit because just like Astoria filed a lawsuit against the bike lanes, not towards the community board, to be clear, but we want the community board to be aware because the community board did not file nor support this bike lane. After the incident we dealt with last year with Mila getting her skull fractured by a bicycle, by an e-bike, to be fair, and myself just witnessing a 5-year-old boy waiting for the bus with his father almost getting run over.
Information for us. I just wanted to be clear.
Yep.
Okay.
And to Debbie's point, I didn't get a chance to answer her question, but I try to stay in my lane. So from Mesa Avenue to Arnell, whatever they want to do outside of that, and we have spoken with Community Board 12, it's totally fine with us and them. But this is the crux of our concern.
Okay, thank you, Jean, for bringing this to our attention. Next up, we have Diana Finch from the Bronx Park East Community Association regarding access road in Bronx Park to Highway Unit Number 1.
Is this on? Yeah.
Yeah, if you can stand over, just away from the speaker.
Okay.
I mean, it was fine for Jean, but
Well,
for now.
try here.
Thanks. Tonight, I'm speaking on behalf of BPECA and of Miguel Dyer for the residents of 1975 Birchall and neighboring buildings. A huge thank you to District Manager Jeremy, to Chair Rodriguez, and Transportation Chair Rabbi Fuchs for getting New York State DOT to come to the table for a joint Transportation and Parks Committee meeting on Monday, January 5th, first day back from the holidays, to present about the new access road through Bronx Park at Unionport and Sagamore to the Highway Unit 1 station house of the Bronx River Parkway. We'll be arranging to have as many residents attend as possible. Because this project is turning rare forested natural growth parkland into a road that runs right next to a residential building, we feel strongly that state DOT must work in full transparency with us. In response to News 12 coverage of the way the brush clearing for construction took residents by complete surprise, state DOT has paused the work. We appreciate this and the time our elected reps, especially Assemblymember Zaccaro, have put into conversations and fact-finding. We're grateful to 49th Precinct Captain Julianne Stapleton for bringing Deputy Inspector Juan Terrero of Highway Unit 1 to the November Precinct Council meeting to answer our questions. He understands residents' dismay at losing parkland and even volunteered to help us plant more trees. We've had a written promise from Parks to liaise on scope and timeline. They explain their need for the road not to interfere with their parking and equipment staging. We've urged them to attend the meeting. We want to know why the road needs to be so close to the building, how to safely design the entrance which cuts across the sidewalk right next to a school bus pickup, a clear timeline for the project and a project liaison on site daily, clear visuals of how trees and foliage will be replanted, and that residents will still have access into the park. We hope that you'll all attend this meeting. Because it's so hard to visualize the road plan from maps, we hope you'll take the time to stop by the area beforehand. We're glad to join you on walkthroughs. Thank you.
Does anyone have any questions for Diane? Dier, please pass the. Yes, questions.
Can you say when that meeting is again and
Uh,
where?
January 5th, Monday, January 5th.
Where?
It's a committee meeting, Transportation and Parks, a CB11 meeting.
Next question. Anybody got a question? Anybody else?
All right. Seeing no other questions. Jeremy, just to confirm, we have nobody registered ahead of time in online for the gallery session?
I mean, Gabriel did, but that was a while ago.
Okay. You already came up though? Yeah. Okay, so then the gallery session is now closed. We're gonna move on to the elected officials. Who do we have here in person?
That's Riley's office, just sorry.
Oh, okay, Kevon, sorry, I couldn't remember your name. Please come up. Councilmember Riley's office.
Alrighty, thank you.
Just keep it close. Just keep it close to your mouth.
All right. Hello, everyone. Good night. My name is Kevon Bolt. I'm the community liaison for Councilmember Kevin C. Riley. Tonight, I'm just going to mention our upcoming holiday giveaway that we have. This one will be taking place this Saturday at the YMCA. The address for that is 1250 East 229th Street, and it will be starting at 12 p.m. Other than that, the council member got sworn in today for his new session, and this will be his final term. So there's that. Also, we're starting our new legislative sessions, and if you have any bill ideas, anything you want to get passed, you can reach out to a legislative team, and they will take the idea and try to formulate it into your vision. Thank you, everyone. Wanted to say happy holidays, happy new year when it comes, and be safe and enjoy the holidays. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, Michael from Senator Rivera's office.
All right. Good evening, everyone. Everyone hear me? All right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Community Board 11, for having me. It's a pleasure to see you all, and a pleasure to see everyone else as well. If no one signed up for our newsletter yet, I have the QR code. I have it right here if you'd like to sign up. And just some past events we've been doing. This past Friday, we did Hands Off NYC. We pretty much just canvassed small businesses in the area on Grand Concourse and Webster, and just gave out resources, information on your constitutional rights, and the Know Your Rights palm cards as well. If anyone would like some, I have a bunch as well. And just this past Tuesday, we did a very late turkey giveaway with Open Hand Association and West Side Campaign Against Hunger. We gave away approximately over 300 bags of produce and turkeys. And what else? Tomorrow is our last remote day. So please, if you have anything urgent, please call our number at 718-933-2034. We will be checking voicemails and emails for anything urgent. And we will be coming back January 5th on an on-call schedule. And what else? Happy holidays. Thank you guys so much for having me. And Happy New Year. Thank you so much.
Anybody else in person? How about online? Do we have someone from Oswald Felice's office?
Hi, how are
Dana?
you? Hi, can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Hi, everyone. My name is Dana Keene. I'm from the office of New York City Council Member Oswald Felice. It's a pleasure to be here for the first time. I would also like to announce that I will be the representative from CM Felice's office, going forward. So it's a pleasure to be here, and this is my first community board I've sat on. So thank you. So a couple updates. We have done a toy drive today in collaboration with Fordham University. We just wrapped that up around 6 p.m. So excuse my tardiness. Additionally, we have an event tomorrow, another toy drive with one of our partners at Niño de la Caridad Foundation. However, registration unfortunately is closed. But if there are remaining toys, I'll drop the poster, hopefully in the chat, or I could send it to Jeremy. As for legislative updates and land use and budget, I defer that to my colleagues at the office, and they inform me that at this time there is nothing. So if you have any other questions or concerns, hopefully, when I come in person, I'll bring official business cards, as my title has now changed. So I am the Director of Community Engagement at the office. So I'll be glad to answer any questions you may have. I really appreciate your time.
Thank you, Dana, and welcome. And do we have anybody else online? Oh, hi, Evan from Assemblyman Sakaro's office.
Yes, thank you all. So before beginning my broader community update, I want to share a brief update regarding 1680 Stillwell Avenue. In 2023, after receiving multiple inquiries from community members regarding this site, we engaged with relevant city agencies to better understand the proposed use of the site. After multiple discussions with the property owners, city-state agencies, and community members, it was always our understanding that this as-of-right property was going to be developed to provide social services. This week, the Department of Social Services has informed our office and the community board that the site at 1680 Stillwell Avenue is planned to open in the spring of 2026 as a 200-bed shelter serving single adult women, with the potential to include senior women. The service provider for this site will be Lantern Community Services. At this time, this is the full extent of the information available to our office. As additional details are shared by the city or the provider, we will continue to relay updates in coordination with the community board. Following the holiday season, we intend to connect directly with the provider and will keep the board informed of any new information and development. For now, we respectfully ask that all questions or concerns be directed to the community board, which will continue to serve as a primary forum for discussion and consultation with our office. After that statement, the assembly member would like to wish everyone a happy holidays and look forward to a wonderful new year filled with joy and good health. The assembly member would like to thank everyone who braved the cold weather this week and last week for our community Christmas tree lightings and Hanukkah menorah lightings. The site of the former Pelham Diner, we are pleased to announce that the Pelham Diner has been demolished and the lot has been cleared. We should expect construction on what will be a new Starbucks to begin in the next few months. As many of you have seen, our holiday toy giveaway event at our community office will be held tomorrow. That's Friday, December 19th, starting at 5 p.m. But if you can't make that, then you can visit us on Saturday, December 20th at the Mashulu Library from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Once again, we wish everybody a very happy holiday season and look forward to seeing you in the new year.
Thank you, Evan. Just a reminder for the board members, please have your camera on. I know it doesn't matter, but this still should be in practice. Okay, do we have anybody else?
I know, unless.
Okay. So we're going to go on to reports. Just a reminder, again, we don't have a quorum, so we will not be making any motions because we cannot vote on them. Okay. So first is the chair's report. I don't know if Cynthia is still on. Cynthia, do you want to say anything at this time? And she might have had to step away. Cynthia's in the middle of working, so that's why she's excused for today technically. All right, for the treasurer's report, I was waiting for some information from one of the parties that sends me the information. I finally did get it, but not in time to get the report for tonight. So I will get the report out and it will be sent to the board office by Friday. That's tomorrow. So Friday, I'll get it to them. Secretary's report. We're not going to review any meeting minutes. There was a mention that the March 2025 meeting minutes, there was found to be a discrepancy. So those meeting minutes will be revised and will be republished.
We do have November.
Okay, we do have November in draft form and it will be published also for the full board minutes. Now to Jeremy for the district manager.
Yeah, and I also have district service cabinet amendments. They will be published as soon as we get to it. So actually a couple things. I just want to remind everybody, oh, he left already. But so Shred Hannon, well, he stepped out. Shred Hannon, I know some people get in the habit of calling people by his last name because it's easier, it's more convenient, but his first name is Shred Hannon, Shrado for short. So just remember that to be respectful, I think we should use their people's proper names unless they want you calling them by their last name. But separate from that, thank you for your service is a phrase that is commonly said to service members of the United States Armed Forces or veterans, actually. This is something that I thought about. And I talked to Veronica about. I talked to Cynthia about. I went to Vanessa's toy giveaway, veterans toy giveaway, this past weekend, and I took my youngest daughter with me, and we spent like $45 in food, just the two of us. And I think when you and I spoke, same thing for two people, $50 in food. It just made me think about, that phrase, thank you for your service. My generation of veterans particularly don't care for it. I'm going to be honest, to me, it's like, telling somebody, my condolences when you don't really care. I'm not saying that I don't appreciate when people on their own accord, usually when I hear that though, thank you for your service, it's, oh, you're a veteran, thank you for your service. No, when I would like to hear that is when I'm not expecting to hear that on Veterans Day, right? Or something like that. So, and I can tell you, my uncles, their generation, Vietnam veterans, they appreciate that much more than my generation because they didn't even get that when they came back from overseas. So what I'm getting at is it's nice that the Bronx Zoo does that veterans event, but not everybody knows about that event, right? Not everybody knows about that event, goes to that event. What about year round? If we really want to thank people for their service, I'm not saying I need a discount on food or anything, but maybe somebody else does. And if not that, maybe discounted membership, something like that. So I want to push with your assistance. I think if we actually believe that we should thank veterans for their service to this country, remember, I joined for college benefits. Not everybody joined to go to war. National Guard, I never expected to be sent to a combat zone and risk my life. But that's what I did because that's what I was compelled to do. So for what it's worth, I want to push, I know not-for-profits, I know money's hard to come by, but still, we really want to thank veterans for their service. Okay, make it worth their while? A discount on membership, not food, something, So that's one thing I would like assistance on, and at least a conversation about, because some of the people I've had a conversation with about this already, like they didn't realize that like the reasons I joined the military, I didn't use them. I end up, the only reason I got through college is because of the school giving me money. The GI Bill did not help me. Even though I was entitled to it, I had to reach out to Senator Clinton's office at the time to get it. There's a lot of benefits that most people think veterans get and do not get naturally. And I know Cynthia and I talked about this because her father's a veteran. So that's really all I wanted to say right now, besides what I already said.
Thank you, Jeremy. And I think that does warrant a further discussion, and I think the board should do something. So maybe we all could get together at one point and have more discussions on this. My father, my stepfather, and my partner are all veterans, so I am fully engaged with supporting veterans. Okay, moving on. We're going to start the committee reports. So leadership. We had our leadership meeting on Tuesday. One thing that came up was a request that the Parks Committee is supposed to be meeting on the second Wednesday. There was a request if it could be moved to, in consideration of a couple of other associations that are meeting on that same day that usually come to the Parks meetings. So I told them that if it can be done, if it's available for the committee to move it, then we would try and move it, but it has to be good for the committee. If the committee can't meet any other time, that's fine. But if you would take it back to the Parks Committee, Debbie, and see if there's a way that we could take into consideration of moving it, that would be great.
Yeah, because it was moved to the Wednesday because one of the committee members is in a committee, it has a meeting that conflicts with the other date, date of the
Another
week.
association
Right.
meeting, right?
So, yeah, we'll try to figure out.
Yeah, if you
something
could just
else.
take it back to the committee and see if there's any possible way to move it to another date, that would be great. Just as long as we can try and take, some action to try and accommodate them. Okay, that would be really appreciated.
And being you mentioning that, is it my understanding that Parks is gonna have a joint meeting with Transportation come January?
That on the calendar?
So yeah, that's something else too I want to talk to Cynthia about, because I know we were talking about having Propel New York come to the Parks Committee, come back to the Parks Committee, right? But I mean, so it's a joint meeting, and we agreed to cancel the second meeting for Parks to just have the one, but we have those 3 guest speakers, Metro North, State DOT, which is a Parks issue. That's really the Parks issue there. And then the street code naming application, and then Propel New York. Do we really want to throw that in on there on that night? I don't know. That's something I need to talk to Cynthia about too. Or maybe you, me, and Cynthia can talk about offline.
Offline.
Okay.
Okay, now we have bylaws and ethics. Ryan?
We don't have anything to report. We did not have a meeting in December, and some of us will not be available for our normal January meeting. So we're going to meet in February, date pending.
Thank you, Ryan.
Okay, next up, community development and budget priorities.
Good afternoon, everyone. We have nothing to report. We did have a successful meeting last month, but we didn't have a scheduled meeting this month.
Thank you. And Dwayne, moving on to economic development and public safety.
Yes, in regards to economic development and public safety, I did have a motion. However, we don't have a quorum tonight, and we weren't able to pass the motion in committee. We didn't have a quorum as well. So I'll have discussions with Jeremy to see how best we could handle it for next month prior to the expiration of the application.
Right, we may have to move the economic development meeting sooner, or just have a quick economic development meeting in the beginning of January just to cover this particular applicant. But again, we can have that discussion with Jeremy later.
So just be clear, I do have on the calendar for community development next week. So if that's still happening, we'll put up an agenda and.
Yes, we'll definitely love to use that opportunity.
Okay.
So we can review that application.
No, that's for community and development. That's not for economic development.
Okay.
Yeah, because you said you didn't have a meeting this month, but it's scheduled for next week.
Yeah, so we'll have it then.
Yeah, Stacy Ann?
No, I was wondering because I'm not feeling well. I feel like I'm catching the flu. So I was wondering if we could put that meeting off until January, if possible. And
Yeah, I
let's,
mean, yeah, so let's talk about offline so we don't waste everybody's time here.
okay, great.
But yeah, as long as, yeah. And then I know you mentioned economic development. I know some people have complained about people who don't show up in person. That's hurting your quorum. I highly recommend if you have somebody like that, you talk to them and find out what's going on there. So if you can try to get them to come to a meeting.
Next up, Education, Culture, and Youth Services. Alex?
Our committee did not meet this month, but I do want to just take a moment to once again promote the Yankee Youth Leadership Award, which the community board awards each year to 5 young people who either live in the community or do volunteer work in the community. It's an award given out by the Yankees with a $750 stipend, as well as an on-field ceremony for the winners. The committee has been promoting this to different civic associations and schools in the community. But I would just ask anyone in attendance, the application can be found on our website under forms. So if you know any young people who you think might be good applicants, we'd love to see as many applications as possible this year. Thank you.
That's okay. Next, Health and Social Services. Sandy?
Good evening, everyone, and happy holidays. We had a wonderful speaker come. I'm sorry. She represented the New York Family Justice Center in the Bronx, and she spoke about her job at the mayor's office to end domestic and gender-based violence. She explained the program, how it works. People can get in touch. Everything is done anonymously. It's free. And if you know of anyone who needs any help, please watch the video that we put on, was it Facebook and YouTube. And next month, I will have 2 speakers coming in, one from the Bronx Cancer Services, and she will especially, someone will come in to speak about prostate cancer because it's a big thing. And we will have someone from Live On New York talk about the, what is it? When you sign up to be a donor and what it means and how it works, etc. And then the next month, we're having someone come to talk about fall prevention in adults and whatever, and young people. And I really wish some people would come to the office instead of doing everything verbally, because they would like to do a hands-on demonstration. And that's all. So, thank you. And we're still trying to work on the health fair, in case anyone's interested.
Thank you, Sandy. For Housing and Land Use, Juanita?
Hi, everyone. We had a meeting on Tuesday. Ted from HPD was our guest speaker. He was there to answer any questions that he could answer for 2560 Boston Road. Right now, we know that next month the developers will be coming to present and answer anybody else's questions on 2560 Boston Road.
Thank you, Juanita. Parks, Recreation, Sanitation, Environmental Protection, Debbie?
Yeah, as it was mentioned before, Propel New York came to our meeting, and for some of us out on the committee had already seen had heard from them before, so it wasn't new to them. But for us in Parks, it was new, so we didn't make a motion or a vote or anything. But I do implore people on the board to watch the YouTube video presentation, because for me, I know it was very kind of confusing as some of the stuff. So everybody gets schooled on the issue. I implore everybody to watch the YouTube video of the Propel presentation. I'm still waiting for Propel to send me the the presentation to be shared within the board. But in the meantime, again, watch the YouTube video. And I also want to mention Eastchester Playground. They had the ribbon cutting on December 12th. I was there. I got to cut the ribbon. The place looks amazing. And it was done like, I think 5 months ahead of time, which is unheard of with the city.
great.
So it absolutely looks amazing. So I again want to thank the Parks Department and all, everybody that had their portion in doing the reconstruction. It's amazing. I
Thank
can't
you,
say
Debbie.
any more of that.
That's awesome. Thank you. And I think you're the only one here from transportation. Jeremy already touched on the item that was on the transportation. Do you have anything else other than that?
I was wondering if Jeremy had reached out to the applicant of the co-naming, because the particular street that was mentioned to me, those two particular streets don't.
So, all right, so let me clarify that if you don't mind. So that was sent to the entire board, right? The document, the document they sent, the application they sent was 157 pages. That's why they sent it via Google Docs. And I said, look, you don't need all that.
And I didn't even see the Google Docs.
Yeah, no, I know, because you got to request access. So she was going to go back to the widow and to clarify the street location, because yes, that was very clearly an issue. And I just iterated the requirements for in terms of, like, they included way more letters than they needed, way more information than they needed, in my opinion. So they were going to hopefully, truncate that. All right. But I did speak to them. I did share your concerns too, and they're going to get back to us.
Yeah, but when you find out what the exact street, we also have to find out if there's even a petition involved.
Yeah, there are petitions. There is a petition. They do have a lot of signatures for people from that area. And I made it clear that that's the concern is, locally, how do the residents and people in the area feel first and foremost, right? Like, so they included like a letter from Senator Gillibrand, but because you don't need all that, I said, just put a summary of what you do have in case somebody does want to see that letter. So yeah, when they come back to us, the city council doesn't approve this till April or whatever. So we got plenty of playtime, right? So to speak. Okay.
And what are the other, the MTA and the state DOT? What are their referencings coming forth?
So, so the MTA is about the Metro North, the Penn Access. The 4 new Metro North stations are coming in or looking to come in. State DOT is about the overpass on the Bronx River Parkway by Renaqua, the Parks Department headquarters, as well as Highway 1, and the trees issue that, what Diana was talking about.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. That's the last of the committee meetings. Moving on to old business. Does anybody have old business? Anybody on screen? No. Okay, we're moving on to new business. The next full board meeting is going to be at Centerlight, 2401 White Plains Road. So that I believe that's on Mace and White Plains Road. Jeremy, do you want to speak on 1682 Stillwell Avenue?
Yeah. First of all, for, I guess, old business, sorry for those who were maybe sent over there for 1500 Juarez Place. The actual address I was given here, I think it's 1440 or something like that. When I Googled it, it sends you over to the Hutch Metro Center, which is even worse, right? So, this is part of a learning curve, right? For us, learning different parts of our district. So it's, it's good we're here, right? They have plenty of parking. I know a lot of people are concerned about parking. So sorry for anybody who got confused and sent over that way. In the meantime, or going on, 1682 Stillwell Avenue. Yeah, so this is the shelter that was temporarily stopped and obviously resurrected. We got notice today. That's all I can really say about it. And, you want somebody to blame the mayor's office or DHS, all right? Pat.
I know that I attended a lot of meetings And a lot of people were bringing it up. They were asking questions. What is this building going to be? What is this building going to be? And a lot of people did not know. And then all of a sudden, this popped up. And I know that in Zakaro's office, they just said that they found out today too. I don't know. I mean, is this, it was part of city planning, right?
So-
And, yeah, how does this, with the housing and everything? the
So,
committees-
I mean, Cynthia is probably oh, go ahead. Me?
Naomi, can you hear Jeremy now?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
So, yeah, I know you asked about like district service cabinet meetings, if this came up. Every time I brought it up, and you can ask Cynthia, what are the plans for this building? It is not currently being cited as a shelter. When secretly it probably was. I mean, like, look, I'm not gonna lie, that's how the city tends to operate. But every time we asked, that was the answer.
Is this like the new norm? Because I feel like, things are being thrown out into the community and no one is aware of it and it's not fair. I mean, why do we have all these committees and then all of a sudden no one knows anything? That's why I feel that, we're going to be further discussing this, right? In the next meetings.
Well, I mean, look, what I would take away from this is you don't want to dance with the devil, you want to give them a shelter, they'll stay with the one they were giving you to begin with. So it's like, why even bother going through? We made another community very upset by citing a shelter in Poplar. I mean, certain people did that, but ultimately the board went along with it, right? The board didn't object when one of the former chair people cited 2440 Poplar Street or 43, whatever, Poplar Street as a shelter
Right.
in lieu of this,
Right.
right? That was the deal that was made. Well, we don't have to put a shelter there if you can give us another location. We gave them another location. Look what they're doing anyway.
But where is this fair share? I feel like we're getting dumped on in this District 11. I mean, there's like so many things that are happening that we really don't know about,
I just want to say, I mean, I understand the concerns and this was brought up, this has been a couple years ago, but there was a town hall that Mayor Adams did and a few folks brought it up at that town hall. And what he brought up were the statistics that our district, our community board generally has fewer shelters, has had fewer new shelters, houses fewer people, builds less housing, like all of these things. I wouldn't bring up the fair share argument because we haven't been taking our fair share. So just to sort of answer that question, it has been brought up, it has been addressed, and I don't live on Stillwell. I don't live on this side of the district, but just wanted to point that out.
Thank you.
Is anybody surprised that this happened?
Very so.
The city does whatever they want. These are backdoor deals they make, and I should be worried. I live half a block from there. I can see it from my balcony. There's nothing I can do about it. We voted not to happen, but it's still gonna happen. The same thing with the bike lanes, right? People vote not to have the bike lanes there, and they still put the bike lanes. So the city does whatever they want. I know we're not giving up. I'm not saying to give up. I'm not saying to give up, but they do whatever they want. They basically say, well, the committee board says, no, we don't want this. We still gonna do it.
I just think that one thing we keep saying no to everything that comes our way. They're going to stop listening to us. Sometimes we have to be open to accepting that something has to be put into our area and just finding an appropriate area in our community board. But saying no to every single thing that comes through is just going to have people stop even asking, and they're just going to do what they want. Debbie, last question.
But there's also saturation because, all right, even though it's CB10, they're putting a homeless shelter just in a matter of blocks. We're not even talking miles. We're talking a matter of blocks away in CB10 because that's just on the very edge of CB11, Stillwell. They're putting one in CB10 just right there on Westchester Avenue. So the saturation, it's saturation.
All right, thank you, Debbie. All right, that was the last question on that. Does anybody else have any new business?
Hold on, is it green?
Jeremy, I feel this is a concern. WebEx, when are they gonna finish this WebEx thing? Because we never have a quorum. And if we do have a quorum, if we do have people on WebEx, they're at home, they spend a long time on the home and they can talk, and we there sitting down waiting for them to finish, and it takes up a lot of time. I would like to know what's really going on with this WebEx and when will it stop? I know it's COVID time and okay, we understand now it's not COVID anymore.
So to address that, I think what you're really just referring, okay, tonight is an exception. For the most part, we always have a quorum at the full board,
Tonight, I know what happened.
right? Like the last 3 meetings, we had a quorum. I think you're more talking about committee meetings, right? So like I said to Dwayne earlier, if there are people that are habitually not showing up in person, whether it's here, the full board, or, I mean, it's really Cynthia's duty to reach out to that person. But for committee meetings, the duty of the chair and the committee itself, because ultimately the committee selects that chair, right? They vote on that chair. Somebody should be reaching out to those members and find out what's going on. Why aren't they able to attend, right?
I just want to
I don't
know
know.
when are we
Well,
going to
well, so
eliminate
that's one end of the stick. The other end is, I mean, look, it's the 21st century. Like, you know, maybe there should be a little bit more leeway in terms of what's allowed, in terms of, you know, maybe half of them should be allowed to attend remotely, you know? Go ahead, Harry.
Do other board meetings have WebEx or Zoom?
I mean, I've been told that some other board meetings still fully meet remotely, which is not legal.
And then there's others that don't even do any remote.
And there's others that don't do remote at all. So,
When we do
so
the fourth one.
do you want it? She had her hand out, Christina.
Christina?
I was just wondering as well about the quorum. This is ridiculous. We take time out to come to these meetings because we expect to be in the meeting that will have quorums. I think something has to be done to people that are not showing up at the meetings. If they can come to the meeting, they should not be in the committee. Also, I wanted just to mention that maybe for next year, we could look at also trying to see if we can get long sleeve shirts that we can wear in the winter and encourage people to wear the uniforms, the t-shirts.
Well, I mean, look, well, I mean,
Committee meetings, yeah.
first of all, it's nice that those who wear their shirts are wearing them, right? Like I suggested to you, put it over, like Sandy's doing, put it over something in the meantime, right? But there's some, I mean, Ryan's going to kill me after the meeting, but I don't know if I said it to him already or somebody, but maybe somebody needs to make a bylaw proposal. If you can't show up in person at least half of the year or whatever, maybe you should be up for removal from the committee or removal from the board.
Hold on, let me talk first.
All right, go ahead, please.
I have made it a point for several years now that if you're on the board, unless you have a medical reason, you cannot come in. You should be in person. I do not believe that being remote should be an option to anyone who just doesn't want to come in. It should be if you have a medical reason you can't come in, then I totally understand that. Otherwise, you should be at committee meetings and you should be at full board meetings. And I've said that many times. All right, up next, Abdus, sorry. Okay.
Good evening, everyone. I'm going to out of country next month. I'm not going to be able to attend the meeting. And if I want to do it online, I can do that. Yeah. Otherwise, even I'm going out of country next month. I'm going to be able to attend the meeting. I'll let you know on the board officially.
Yeah.
Then nobody can absent me with the meeting.
Yeah, so Abdus was letting us know that he's going to be out of the country next month. So he's going to try to join the full board meeting. online, and if he can try and join the committee online, he will do so also. But there's a very big time difference between now and when he's going to be out of the country. It's 6 o'clock in the morning that he would have to join for the full board meeting. So if he can't join, that's totally understandable. Okay, Stacy Ann?
Hi, I fully support WebEx. In the 21st century, I think WebEx should be on every meeting. Because at times, say someone cannot make it to the meeting and want to join the meeting.
No, I totally agree. I think WebEx should be
I
there,
mean, there
especially for
should be-
people who
There
can't
should
join.
be other alternative if someone is not making the meeting, like, like do like 3 strike for, but WebEx should not go away. Thanks.
No, I mean, like I said, for medical reasons, people are
Not
are
only.
concerned. No, but hold on one second, Stacy Ann.
Okay,
Because
yes.
for medical reasons, you can be considered part of the quorum online if you're online. But if you don't have that kind of medical reason, you're not considered part of the quorum, which is the problem we're having tonight. Because not
But-
everybody that is online is considered part of the quorum. So until that is changed, we need people to show up in person. We need to have quorums at our committees.
I understand, but still, that's not a WebEx fault. People should, have other alternative to, like discipline or something when someone is not showing up. But thanks anyway. Merry Christmas to all.
Okay, and on another note, tonight we did Zoom instead of WebEx. So for those online and even those here in the room, let us know which one you found to be a little bit more productive. Did you like the way WebEx worked, or did you like the way Zoom worked tonight? So you just got to let us
Yeah.
know. And Naomi, you have something to say?
Yes. So
Go ahead.
thank you for giving me the opportunity. So first about WebEx and working from home, I just want you to know I work with a hospital and we still have COVID out here. So just for safety reasonings, we should have WebEx. Number 2, I think it's important to understand that this December timeframe is tough for people. It's a holiday season. And usually, like Jeremy stated, we usually have full quorum. We usually, a lot of people are in attendance. So I think, blaming WebEx right now, I don't think is the right thing to do. I think it's more readily important that we try to get the community to be participants in this process. Thank you.
Thank you, Naomi. Does anybody else have anything? Okay, if not, there's one thing that I did want to mention. For those of you who know Sal Castorino, who's been a longtime member of the Allerton Homeowners Association and are not aware, he did pass away. His wake was today, and I believe it is tomorrow's from 2 to 5 and 7 to 9 at Ferenga Brothers. So if anybody wants to pay their respects, you can go to, you still have tomorrow to do so. And on that note, I'm sorry to end it on a sad note, but thank you everyone for joining today. Have a happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, and have a happy and healthy New Year. And we'll see you all back here in January. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good night.
Thank you.